Greetings to all, and a warm welcome to our latest live webcast, Transparency into Your Software's True Reach. We're thrilled that you have decided to join us for this enlightening masterclass. With each episode, we provide new highlights, technical tips, and success stories that will leave you inspired and ready to get your protection, licensing, and security techniques another step closer to perfection. At WIBU-SYSTEMS, we empower software publishers and intelligent device manufacturers with cutting-edge technologies, new business models, and tailor-made consulting training. Let us help you upgrade, optimize, and automate your entire license lifecycle management so you can focus on monetizing your business at a higher level. My name is Tom Ritchie. I'm the U.S. Marketing Director of WIBU-SYSTEMS, and I'm delighted to have you here with us today. We are joined by Florian Schneider, Product Management, and Dr. Simon Kunz, R&D Software, Team Leader, CodeMeter Cloud, both from WIBU-SYSTEMS headquarters. To give you a roadmap for today's session, here's what we'll be covering. CodeMeter license reporting offers up-to-date license usage data, interactive dashboards, and API integration to monitor feature adoption, upselling potential, usage peaks, and geographic trends. It enables fair pay-per-use licensing by providing the exact usage data for accurate billing, ensures secure data handling, and streamlines operational analysis for optimized licensing strategies. Before we dive into the content, let's quickly address a few housekeeping items. For all of you turning in today, we've set aside a special segment at the end of the session exclusively for Q&A. We warmly encourage you to drop your questions into the live chat box as they come to mind. If we can't get to your question during the live discussion, rest assured, we'll make it a priority to engage with you individually at a later time to address your queries. This session is being recorded, and a link to the on-demand replay will be sent straight to your inbox within the next couple of days. This way you can revisit the insights shared today at your leisure. And don't forget, stick around for the entire license session and seize the opportunity to win an invaluable 4 hours of personalized CodeMeter consultation with our industry-leading experts. As the webinar concludes, a new browser tab will automatically open, presenting you with a quick quiz. We'll randomly select a lucky winner from those who answered correctly and make the big announcement when we release the webinar replay. Kindly note that if you win, you'll be ineligible for any other prize drawings we host in 2025. Be also aware that this brief questionnaire includes additional questions aimed at gauging the quality of this masterclass. While these questions are optional, your valuable feedback will empower us to enhance the quality of our offerings and tailor our online events more precisely to meet your specific needs. And now, without any more delay, I'm delighted to hand over the reins to Florian. The stage is all yours.
Thanks, Tom, and hello, everyone. We are very happy to have you here, and we are very happy to tell you a couple of things about CodeMeter license reporting. First, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Florian Schneider, and I'm the product manager for CodeMeter license reporting.
Hello, everybody, and also welcome to today's webinar. My name is Simon Kunz. I'm currently the team lead in software development, specifically for the development of CodeMeter Cloud, the licensing platform, and for license reporting that we will show you and present you today.
So let's jump right in. And first, a couple of words about CodeMeter. I mean, probably you are already CodeMeter customer and already very familiar with CodeMeter. We deliver products in many form factors, and traditionally in dongles and in smaller dongles and in even smaller devices. And now we also have, since a couple of years, CM Act and CM Cloud as software or cloud-based licensing, let's say, devices. And everything integrates very well, of course, in the CodeMeter universe with, for example, the CodeMeter Protection Suite and our License Central and so on. Our motto, one of our mottos, is integrate once, deliver many. So if you protect and license your software once, you can deliver the same piece of software to many customers and just deliver different licensing keys or different licenses to each of them, to their needs. That's how everything comes together very easily. But we are here for license reporting. And if someone is using your software, and for especially if they're using CM Cloud containers, but also in general, if someone is using your software, they are producing usage data. So the usage data is already there. So why not put it to work? Why not use it somehow? And that's why we were developing license reporting to actually use the already existing data and to turn this data into dashboards that give you chances to give you some advantages. For example, here's an overview. You can integrate billing based on usage of your customers. For example, if some of your customers demand to only pay what they were using, that's easily possible now with license reporting, and I'm going to show you in a couple of minutes how this is done. You can identify trends. You can try to find out which part of your software is used a lot and which part of your software is not used that much or not used in a way that you were expecting it to be used. And we have a couple of graphs to envision this. Also, based on the information you are seeing in the graphs, you could easily take proactive measures. For example, you are calling your customers if you are seeing that maybe they are having trouble or maybe they are not using the software as you expected, and maybe you can try to assist them and guide them some help and give them some help to make them a more happy customer. All in all, we have a tool, a very powerful tool with license reporting that gives you a lot of data and visual data to make your decision making more informed and to give you chances to incorporate more information into your decisions. But first, before we jump into the dashboard, let's have a look on the insides of license reporting, what's behind the curtain and how is it set up? Simon, please.
Yes. Yeah, before we start with the actual product, I would like to give you some rough overview about the architecture behind license reporting. We will start on the very left-hand side with the 3 known container types WIBU system offers. This is a CodeMeter dongle, a hardware device, typically a USB device. Then we have the CodeMeter Act, which is a software-based license that is bound to the properties of the device the license container is on. And the newest container type is the CodeMeter Cloud container type, where all the cryptographic operations are performed within the cloud. And when these licenses in these license containers are used, there is data produced. For instance, if you start an encrypted protected application, a license access will occur, a license will be occupied, then your application will be decrypted using cryptographic keys. So all this is locked. And in the end, when the application is stopped again, the license is released again. And we can collect all this raw data. And these raw data are then collected by a so-called data collector, which is this greenish, bluish box. And from there on, we have a data aggregation service. This is a typical ETL process, an extract, transform, load process. That means that the data is extracted, it is transformed in the desired format. It is partly filtered, it is partly enriched with more information coming from other sources. And then this data is finally loaded in our data warehouse. This is, let's say, a sophisticated database with 3 different areas. There is a staging area where this kind of raw data are loaded. Then we have a core area where some pre-calculations are already done. And we have a presentation layer where the data is kept in a format where it can easily be fetched from outer services. So on the right-hand side in yellow, you can see our reporting service. This is an interface, a REST API that can be called in order to fetch data and reports. We have on the lower side the user front end. This is a website we provide where all the metrics are visually presented. You can, if you're a customer and you bought the license reporting, you can log in there using your credentials we provide to you. And there we have an identity provider, which serves for authentication and authorization. And once this happens, you're able to fetch data from a reporting service. In case you want to programmatically fetch all this data and integrate the data in your applications, or you want to do own analyses, you can also directly call the REST API. But this is something we will have a look at later in this webinar. So let's say hands-on, Florian, we will start with the user front end. So what you can see here on the lower side, let's try to log in.
Let's try to log in. That's a very good idea. Let's go to the demo and see if we can log in, but I'm pretty sure it's going to work. So that's the welcome screen where we are showing, or where we are using our new WIBU ID to log in, which is going to be introduced separately very soon. Right here, we have a demo account prepared exactly for this demonstration now. So let's log in. And this is our home dashboard. That's our home screen you can see here. It's already a lot of data on it. And so let's go through it one by one. And on the most prominent part, we have the chart for usage time. So what's usage time exactly? It's when the aggregated time your customers were using the data within this time frame. We also have license accesses on the lower side, which is how many times was the license called on this day or in this time frame. On the right-hand side, we have the top products based on usage time or license accesses, which shows the how your products are performing compared to other products and also compared to the time frame before the time frame you have chosen at the moment. Same for your customers, where you can see your customers at the moment we have the last 7 days. The last 7 days are shown here. The Solarian Limited was performing very well and was your biggest customer next to the Belleron Inc. Corporation. And the month before it was a little bit different. So you can see all of this here. So this is our main dashboard. Or let's say we are interested not in all of our products, but let's say I'm interested in how is my main product performing. Let's say, for example, our main product is the so-called Backup Sync Pro, which has the product code 9001. And let's select this and we can see, okay, this is performing pretty well. Some ups and downs, but in the end, it has a lot of usage and a lot of usage time and also a lot of license accesses during the week. And if I'm now interested, not only how is my product doing, but I specifically want to know how is my product doing with one of my customers. Here we have the drop-down menu for our customers, where we have all the CM Cloud container serials listed. This is what comes in through the logs. So through the log files, we have the container numbers, the container serials, and we can map them to our customers. Let's say I'm interested in how is the Daromex AG doing in the last 7 days with the Backup Sync Pro. And I'm selecting this customer and can see, okay, they are using it in this way. And I can compare it to the previous week and also to the month or the last couple of months. So to get a more complete view of the trends and how they are changing. If I'm interested in, for example, Friday, June 20th, the Daromex AG was using the Backup Sync Pro for aggregated amount of nearly 30 hours. And now, obviously, you are saying, okay, 30 hours, how is it possible? In where I'm from, 1 day only has 24 hours. So this means here we are seeing the aggregated usage time. Probably the Daromex AG has more than one license. So they're using several licenses in parallel, and this is aggregated to a total number of nearly 30 hours during that day. By the way, we can also drill down. If you're saying, okay, this day is particularly interesting to me, I want to see more. How were they doing on this day? Let's just click on the day, and you can see, during the morning, during the night, there was a license running, and during the workday in our time zone, the more licenses were used, or it was a longer usage during that time, and in the end it dies off again. Same for the license accesses. The amount of accesses was higher during the day, and nothing happened during the night. So yeah, that's how you can see some very detailed information. And if I want to know even more detailed, what happened exactly during the time from 12 to 1 p.m. on that day, I can click even deeper into my data and have a very detailed analysis. So, but let's get back because we have more to show. I can clear my selection here because now I want to show over all of my products and all of my customers how many failed accesses occurred during the time. Okay, maybe 1 week is not a lot. Let's change it to how many failed accesses did all of my customers have with all of my products in the last month. And I can have a very nice overview here. And we see, okay, in this database, we only have the error no licenses available. If there were more failed accesses occurring through other reasons, then we would also see it here.
And Florian, what can I see from this data? So now my customers cannot access a license. What is the reason here?
Yeah, no licenses available means all licenses were already in use when someone else tried to access a license. And on Monday, May 19th, for example, 27 times, someone tried to access a license without a license being available. So all license quantity were already in use. And this means this customer probably needs more licenses. If I were sales, I would just pick up the phone and ask them, do you need more licenses? It seems to me that you are trying to access the licenses and it was not possible. So you want to be able to work, right? And if you are not having enough licenses, obviously, then it hinders your work.
Is it also possible to see also some trends and have more statistics in it? Because these are only days.
Of course, yeah. You can always have a higher or larger amount of time, a larger time frame. For example, if I check for the current year to date, we can see, that's very interesting. We can see the usage is probably going up because the failed accesses are also going up. So this means it's even more important to enable your customers again to be able to work and to sell them more licenses, because obviously they need them if they run into that many failed accesses because they don't have licenses available. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get back to that view. Yeah, also interesting to see for many people is the accesses by geolocation. So if I want to see where is my software used, then I can have a nice overview here. Obviously, it's not 100% accurate because these data, obviously we don't know where everyone sits down to the street, but we have the IP, which is able to, or from which we are able to derive the area, the broader area. Here we can see, let's check North America, we can see a lot of usage in the United States, some usage in Mexico. Maybe that's what we are expecting. So Washington is a heavy, or close here is a heavy customer, heavy usage customer, down Miami and so on, Houston. And that's probably what we were expecting. But if we zoom out and we are seeing, what's going on in South America? I wasn't expecting some usage in South America because I never sold a license to Paraguay or to Brazil. What's going on there? Then I can investigate a little bit further, and then I can see maybe one of my customers is using this license without in a not intended way. But also it could mean, yeah, it's nice. We were selling some licenses to Brazil, and then you can see, okay, the usage is really picking up here, and maybe it's worth having some marketing measures in South America, because probably that's a market where our software is needed. So yeah, that's just a nice little view here where you can just play around a little bit and see where the licenses are used. What we're having here. Yeah, that's also very interesting and many times requested stat or chart. In the last 7 days, how was the license usage based on maximum parallel license use? And this is a stat or chart I want to see on one product and one container level, because each container has their own license quantity, and I want to be able to compare that. So let's first choose a product. Let's go with our Backup Sync Pro again, because it's already trusted and we know it's we have a lot of data here. And what's a customer we would like to use? Maybe, yeah, this one. Yeah, I hit the correct one. That's very nice. So in the last 7 days, I can see my customer, the Daramex AG in this container, was using my product, the Backup Sync Pro, in parallel at the same time 3 times on that day, and only 2 times on that day. So if my license quantity for that customer is 3, if I sold them 3 licenses, then I know they are approaching the limit many times, or they are reaching the limit many times. If I've sold them 10 licenses, everything fine, everything okay. But if they're reaching the limit several times, then probably it's also time to call and ask them if they are up for, or if they are needing more licenses. Again, we can drill down and have a look. This happened between 11 and 12, where the higher license usage was happening. And even if I want to have a closer look, I can do this again. What's next? Let's go back here. If you are using CodeMeter Cloud, the cloud containers, you are receiving, or you are getting a monthly bill from WIBU for your seats you are buying monthly. So obviously you need the possibility to to know if this bill we are sending to you is correct and if you are paying the correct amount and not too much. So then that's why we have this dashboard here, and you can trace back where your seeds were going to which containers, who was using, or which container was using how many seeds in this time frame. And for example, here we had 48 seeds used in that time span. And if you want to know the Solarian Limited, why are they using so many? If you're interested in that, you can just click on here, which gets you to the last dashboard to show you, which is the seeds used per container dashboard. And you can investigate a little bit further. How's their usage doing? How are they using the seeds or occupying their seeds? Yeah, one more thing that's really interesting for many people, I guess, is the data export feature. What we are seeing here is great data or interesting data for you maybe, and you can leverage it, but you want to use it also in some other systems. Maybe you want to put it in some Excel sheets or in some spreadsheets or in some PowerPoint presentation or whatever. That's why we are having this data export feature, which gives you a couple of options. You can download the data, the raw data we were using to calculate the usage time here as JSON or as CSV. You can also download the aggregated data or the PNG as a picture. Let's just show you what happens if I download the aggregated data, how it looks. We have here, we have the day where the usage occurred and the hours of usage during the day. That's exactly what you are seeing here. That's the numbers from back here. But if you choose to download the raw data, it's much more complex. Yeah, it's much more data. So you could use this to do your own calculations and to use it however you like and put it in your own systems or whatever. Yeah, so you're very flexible with everything. But speaking of data export, I think it's a good time to show you more, even more sophisticated features with the REST API, because we have something you could use yourself as well for automating all the process. And that's why we have Simon again here to explain a little bit more about the REST API we were using to calculate everything.
Yes, Florian. So in case we do not want to manually go to this website, load the data and export the data manually, we offer an interface to our reporting service, which is also made public. So this allows users or you or applications to programmatically fetch the reporting data for further analysis or integrations. And this data is in even more raw format. So in case you're not happy with the metrics we currently provide, of course, this will be extended in the future. But in case you are specifically interested in certain metrics, you can do your analysis on your own. And the access to this API is granted via API tokens. Here we use so-called bearer tokens. These are the, I would say, de facto standard and are part of the Open Authorization 2 standard. And in order to create these tokens, you can use also our website again. We will see that in a minute in a live demo. And the API is completely documented according to the OpenAPI 3.1 specification. And we have also included an interactive documentation in the website, in the front end. And I would say, let's try it hands-on.
Let's have a look.
Let's have a look. I will again show you our front end. And here in the menu, we have a menu REST API and tokens, so which will be used now to create a token. I will delete everything what we had before. So let's give our token a name. I will call it my token. We can set an expiry date. In this case, I want the token to expire, let's say, at the end of July. We can set the firm codes the token is allowed to fetch data from. In this case, it's trivial because we have only one firm code, as most of you probably also have. And we can select specific permissions for the token. This is basically a subset of the permissions you have. So in this case, I will set that our token is also allowed to make changes in the mapping of product codes to products, and also cloud container serials to customers. So let's create the token. You can see that we have now this entry. The roles are there, the firm code is there. It will expire end of July as specified. Currently, it has not been used. And what we got here is an API key. So it will be shown only once. So we copy it to the clipboard. We should write it down somewhere to not forget it. You will never be able to see it again here in the front end. So we have our token. So let's try to use it. Here we go to the documentation. This is the Swagger UI. You may have seen this before in other applications. It's quite standard. And we can now first authorize with our token. I would copy the token here in. We authorize, okay, it worked. And now this is these are all the endpoints you can use to here fetch the data or make changes to the product assignments or the customer's assignments. So let's say we are interested in some failed accesses. We want to see where is potential, where our customers are struggling because they may have not enough licenses and we could probably sell more. So
Simon?
Yes.
One thing I wanted to say is before we do this, for context, everything we can do or everything we were showing you in the front end, you can do with the REST API as well. So the front end was built completely using the REST API. And so everything shown before, you can build your own and you can choose the REST API for that.
Yes, that's right. The front end is basically using exactly this API on its own. And all the data you have seen before, what Florian showed, is also available via this API, as I said, in an even more raw format, in case you want to do more detailed analysis or analyze different metrics. So, but this is quite trivial here, the failed accesses. We could set a firm code, but we do not need it since we have only one. We need to set a start date from when are we interested, let's say 1st of January, and we're interested in data until 31st. No, let's take the 1st of April. We can here choose a resolution which we're interested in. I'm more interested in trends, so let's use the rough resolution in months. We can set a time zone. Here we use UTC, and let's execute the command. And here we got a response. It has an HTTP status code of 200, so everything worked well. We have a response body. Here is some metadata, like the time span, the resolution, and the time zone. And here is the actual data. We see only a few entries, and we see the codes, no more licenses. So this means there is potential. We could sell even more licenses, and this happened a lot, especially for this container. In February, and this is JSON data. You can easily perform analysis on this. All the complete scheme, the query parameters, the authorization, the response bodies, and everything else is described here in this Swagger UI. So in the meantime, we have used this token. So let's try to refresh, and we should see, it has used today. Perfect. Everything works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. That's always cool to have a live demo and that actually works. That's really cool. Yeah, so we are close to an end. these were the demos. And one more thing I wanted to show you is what's to expect in the future. So first, we want to bring this out, to get this out later this year, soon in Q3, with the state you have seen just now. We have CM Cloud containers integrated at the moment. So all the data you were seeing were from CM Cloud containers, which is the current status. But the next step, and that's very interesting to many of you, is we also integrate CM dongle and CM Act license data. So also from the runtime servers running on the client's computer, the data can be shown in CodeMeter license reporting. Yeah, coming with the next release. Later, after that, we are planning to release a white label version where you can also give some metrics, some charts to your end customers, or user role based. So if you can decide which customer is getting which metric, which chart, and you can obviously theme it in your CI, in your company CI. And a little bit later after that, we have some more features planned already, but that's I would say that's more in the future, some more data analytics functions, notifications, and some connections to our existing portals and the License Central to enrich the data in the license reporting database with, for example, the customer name automatically, or with some ticket numbers and so on. Yeah, all in all, that's it. And I think you have seen a large overview, a broad overview about the license reporting. And we would be very happy if you are interested in our product and if you would like to try it and test it and see what it can do for you, and to see if your use cases are, if you can use it for your cases.
And we have now plenty of time to answer some questions. So feel free to write your questions in the chat and we can answer them.
Did we already have some?
Yes, we're waiting for more, but the first question is already there. Yeah. So someone writes, I'm using CodeMeter Cloud already. Are there any specific requirements I need to fulfill to use license reporting and to see the data?
If you are, thanks for the question, by the way. If you are using CM Cloud already at the moment, you can already see the data in the dashboard. There are no further action needed, and you can use it right away.
And do my customers need to do anything? I mean, they use the license.
No, nothing needed to do. We use the standard logs, or we don't create anything different than before, and just they don't feel anything different.
Oh, okay. There is another question. If it is possible to get a preview for license reporting right now.
Yeah, just ask us, just contact us, and obviously, of course, we are very happy to set you up with an account.
Mm-hmm. So,
and if you're, by the way, if you're not using CM Cloud at the moment, and you're only using CM Act or CM dongle, we could also still set you up with an account with some demo data, just so you can explore it and try to get it and to just play with it.
Thank you. There is one more question. Are new metrics supposed to be added to the front end, or can I somewhere get the raw data to perform my own analysis? Yeah, maybe I can answer this.
Yeah.
So when we started the design phase of license reporting, we made some customer surveys, talked to many customers of us to get an idea of what are the most interesting things to show in the dashboard. And these were, let's say, the top 5 or top 6 what we have integrated. But of course, from the raw data, there is much more you can analyze. Yeah, these were just the winners we had so far as a beginning. But of course, we plan to add new, but here we depend on basically your feedback.
Yeah.
So if you are interested in certain metrics, in certain analysis, let us know how you perform the analysis, and then we can check if it's interesting for all of our customers, and then it will certainly find a way in the dashboard.
Yeah, and our approach was to get out with the easy product and don't over-engineer everything. So we wanted to have it very clean, very basic, let's say, and later we are planning to integrate, for example, some guidance features where we could give you ideas on how to act if you see certain situations in your data and what it might mean to you, and you can draw your own conclusions out of that, of course.
And as said previously, since the REST API is giving you already quite raw data, I think there is much more you could already do now on your own, depending on what you're interested.
Yeah.
Because our licensing schemes are very flexible. You can apply the licensing in many different ways, and so our customers are doing this like this. And there it is clear that also the metrics you are interested in very much.
Yeah, exactly. It's very flexible.
Okay.
Yeah,
I do not see any more questions.
guess that's it. Nice.
That's it. Yeah. We hope you enjoyed our webinar about license reporting.
Thanks for your time, by the way. Yeah. Hope to see you again for the next webinar. Thank you very much. Thanks, Simon.
Thank you, Florian, and have a nice day.
Yeah, have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.